It is day 3. I almost said day 4. Getting ahead of myself here, but today I wanted to talk about refeeding. Yeah, refeeding means we are breaking our fast. And I will say the stuff that I see online, the most popular stuff online is a little bit confusing. We'll talk about this, and that, but we're not really talking about the actual literal food. So I want to get a little more explicit, but I don't want to be prescriptive. So I want to talk about exactly how we're going to approach this and come up with a strategy for you. But I don't want to get so prescriptive because I don't want you thinking that you must eat this component or that component. At a very high level, we are breaking our fast with our optimal nutrition. My belief and understanding is that our optimal nutrition comes from whole plant foods. So if it grows naturally out of soil, out of the ground, and it's edible to humans, that's what I deem to be a optimal food. It is a whole food, yes. If we slightly process it, like I get my optimal nutrition in a smoothie because I'm traveling and it's difficult for me to actually like go grocery shopping and have that food, I think that's amazing. Good afternoon, Monique. Okay, so thinking about you here too, Monique, because I know that today I believe is your day 5. You will be breaking your fast tomorrow. Lucky lady. And so I wanted to talk about this. We have our other fasters in our group who are going to be traveling right after this. And of all places, they're hitting Vegas. So their high recommendation is, especially from a Vulture Longo standpoint, his recommendation is that we do not consume any meat or any dairy, especially on our refeeding day, on day 6. Now, he used to say, kind of like focus on day 6. Now he's kind of focusing on the 30 days following our fast. So doing our best. I was very happy to hear our faster say that she's going to do her best to try not to eat any meat or any dairy during her trip. So if you can hold off and do your best for 30 days, amazing. So what are the components that you want to do? I would highly recommend that you develop a plan. So what I shared is, and this is something that I've just been doing for a long time, is especially if you're at home, I'm in my kitchen and I view my kitchen as like my bistro. So if I were to own a restaurant, a little bistro, what would I put on the menu? If I were to just be selfish and not think about like what everybody else loves to eat, I would think of very basic food, but very delicious food according to me. So our refeeding plan, your refeeding plan, is going to be very individualized and cater to exactly what you like. Maybe you have food aversions. Maybe you have certain things that you love. Maybe there are certain things that you love, but you don't think that it is optimal for your health. You have to decide, am I going to build that into my refeeding plan, but just like a little bit and very infrequently? Build that into your plan, test it out, see how that works out. So for instance, let's say I really want to minimize my drinking. I want to drink less. And that is something that I don't drink a lot, but if I could drink even less than I do, that might be a good thing. Let's just take this in 10-day chunks and break up our 30-day refeed into 3 parts. It's just more manageable and approachable that way. So after I break my fast, within those first 10 days, that's the most important part. So if we're going to try our best and refeed very well and be as healthy as possible, that first 10 days is the most important. So within those 10 days, I can say for myself, I'm not going to drink a ton, but I'm going to go out twice within those 10 days, and I will have no more than 2 glasses of wine when I go out. So in that 10-day frame, I'm going to have a maximum of 4 drinks. And then at home, I'm not going to drink. I'm not going to bring it into my home, and therefore it's not there to tempt me. And then you take notes. So within those 10 days, like, how does your body feel? If you have a weight loss goal and you're tracking your weight, at the end of those 10 days, we're not looking day by day, at the end of the 10 days, did your weight stagnate or go down? Did you increase in your weight? So there are certain factors that are going to do that and give you those results, right? So the point of tracking what we're eating, it's just for 10 days, you can do that, is to specifically see with your body, how does your body react to that? So if it is moving away, whatever you did in those 10 days, if it's moving away from your personal health goals, then I got to tweak those things. So if I had a weight loss goal and I end up increasing my weight because of those 4 drinks, not that the alcohol is fattening per se, but when I drink, I am just a little looser and I'm just going to eat more French fries, that's definitely going to add weight. So sometimes it's not specifically the food that we're eating, but it is our behavior. Yeah, you get it. All right, so let's get a little more explicit. So I have this little chart, and this is our refeeding plan at a very high level. So specifically, when we're talking about our food, when we refeed, we want to eat legumes, beans, peas, lentils. I think typically beans and lentils. It's wintertime right now. It's kind of chilly. Unless you're in SoCal right now, it's 80 degrees today, apparently. So legumes, bean soups, lentil soups, have it with more added whole grains. I like to do an epic lentil soup. It's pretty basic, like your basic mirepoix, with whatever kind of lentil is available or any bean, and throw in any other vegetables that you like. And then sometimes I need to beef it up a little bit, so I'll add in some rice. And that is a big meal. Or I'll just have it with a side of bread. That is a beautiful meal that I can easily meal prep, have a huge batch of it, and then it's just in the fridge, ready to go anytime I'm hungry. It could be a snack. It could be a quick, protein-rich meal that I eat after a workout. It could just be a meal. You get it. When it comes to protein, after we break our fast, I'm not weighing any food. So that's not what we need to do. Don't weigh your food. And when we think about protein, we are going to increase the protein that we're eating compared to this DIY fasting mimicking diet. And even if you're following the official Prolong kit, we're going to increase our carbs. And if you are on a weight loss journey, we're going to decrease the fat, because right now it's very high fat. And then overall, we're going to increase our calories. So again, I'm not measuring my food. I'm not keeping score of how many calories I'm eating. All I am doing is eating delicious, high quality food until I'm satiated. I like to eat until I'm full. If you're on a weight loss journey, you're going to want to kind of pay attention to that and not overstuff yourself. However, having said that, if you are sticking to these types of foods and you are eating to the point where you are super stuffed, as long as you're moving your body, you may still continue to lose weight. That's the beauty of eating high quality food. When it comes to protein, I know this is such a loaded topic. Today, we're obsessed with getting enough protein. Sometimes, and if you are even a little bit knowledgeable about Walter Longo's work and the fasting mimicking diet, protein is the thing that is going to increase our pro-aging metabolic pathways. What does that mean? It means that for the majority of us, the majority of the world's population, especially Americans, we're eating a ton of meat, we're eating a ton of dairy, it's a lot of saturated fat. But apart from the saturated fat, let's not even think about that right now. Let's just look at protein. How much protein are we supposed to eat? Most people, even in the plant-based space, today may say, I want you to have over 100 grams of protein a day. Walter Longo would say that is too much. And in fact, he thinks that in the future, we're no longer going to talk about protein in terms of how much should we eat. We're going to start speaking about amino acids. So there are about 20 amino acids that exist in the world. 8 or 9 of them are essential, meaning we do not make them, so we have to eat them. And of those amino acids, there are certain ones that are very high in certain types of food, like animals, meats, and dairy. Those same amino acids. So we'll just look at methionine. Methionine is an amino acid that is very high in animals. And just Google for yourself. I want you to see for yourself what happens if we have too much methionine in our system over time. All the things that you never want for yourself or all of your loved ones or anyone, anyone, that's what could happen. I'm not making an absolute statement here, but that is, we're raising our risk. And so when we're eating a higher quality protein, legumes. And in fact, there's a full essential amino acid profile in every single one of these food items on this list. That's right. All of our 8 or 9 essential amino acids are present in every single bean, every lentil, every whole grain, your oats, your brown rice, your farro, your barley, your quinoa. It's not just quinoa that has a full amino acid profile. It might have a more balanced amino acid profile, meaning like methionine might be a little bit higher. All vegetables, can you believe that? All vegetables have every single essential amino acid. Your full protein needs are met with veg. It's just that they're so low cal and those amino acid amounts may be so low that you're gonna have to eat a ton of veg that realistically nobody's gonna do to get sufficient protein. That's why we need to have the mix. So these check marks, let them indicate to you that this is the bulk of your calories, the bulk of your food, lots of legumes, high quality, lots of whole grains. Like that's why super healthy people have oatmeal for breakfast. A lot of them do that. And then your favorite veg, ideally a variety. Diversity is best for your gut health and for your overall health. Your favorite fruit, not as much as these guys, but have some fruit. There's a lot of phytonutrients and antioxidants that are in fruit that are not present in these other food groups, let's just say. And then nuts and seeds, your healthy fats. I know some camps in the online space, they're very credible, but they will say like, eliminate this. I will say, if you're going to eliminate this because you have a certain goal that you want to hit very quickly, or just you're really set on hitting that weight loss goal, then fine, you can do that. But I wouldn't do that for a long period of time. I wouldn't eliminate nuts and seeds from your life. Other credible doctors, even in that similar space, like the plant-based space, will say you have to have some nuts and seeds in order to aid in your weight loss. So experiment with yourself, see what works. I am of the belief that we need all of this. This is a complete nutritional profile. It is excellent. It's high quality. It's delicious. And it's easy enough. You can find very easy recipes online of the millions of recipes that are online. When it comes to protein and how much, Walter Longo and team will say this is a very easy way to remember. If you were to take a third of your ideal body weight, what is that number? And then take that number in grams, and that's your goal protein amount every single day. So for ease, let's say your goal weight is 150 pounds. A third of that is 50. You're going to aim for 50 grams of protein every single day. That doesn't mean 50 grams of beans, because when you're looking at a bean, there's protein, but there's also carbs, and then there's a little bit of fat. So you want 50 grams of protein in total, not 50 grams of food, 50 grams of the actual protein. So again, I like to use Chronometer. You can use MyFitnessPal. There's tons of other ones that are pretty credible. And that is our game plan. So high quality. A couple of other things that I would love for people to do, everybody to do, is get a little bit of natural sunlight, even if it's like 5-10 minutes a day on our face, on our hands, move our bodies, do whatever you like to do, get enough sleep, and be grateful. Be grateful for this life and for every day that we are here and we wake up, we're here. But these are the bonuses. And this is at a very high level, my refeeding plan. This is my wellness plan in total, but yes, this is it. All right, Monique says, enjoying Sophia's special on day 5. Yay, I love it too. I'm making your miracle soup today to refeed tomorrow. Sounds good to add lentils to it. Yes, the miracle soup is so beautiful, and I love to have it with a side of bread. But if I want to stick to whole plant foods only, then lentils, any kind of bean. Sometimes we do a mix of lentils and beans. Sometimes I add a bunch of taters in there, but you definitely want to make sure that you have your starch. Legumes are a starch, whole grains are a starch, potatoes are a starch, I know there's lots of mixed feelings about taters online. So if you're anti-tater or if nightshades do something to you negatively, then stick to beans. Beans are such a powerhouse. If you look at the blue zones, what is common in all of the blue zones around the world? They eat a lot of beans. Yeah, they eat a lot of beans. Beans also are the foods that have the most fiber. They're so fiber rich. So that is my highest recommendation. If you take anything out of this video, and if you remember legumes, love legumes, this is going to help you. All right. So hope that was helpful. Enjoy your final day, Monique. We are at the halfway point with our group and everybody's doing very well. So I'm so happy. I'm so pleased. Amazing things are happening and it's only day 3, which is, it always blows my mind. So inflammation is going down. Our bodies are working better. And I think I mentioned this yesterday in terms of like, we are always detoxing. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to update my description and I'm going to link to another video from the Create Cures Foundation. But I love how they clarify and point out that fasting is not technically a detox. I see it as a detox because I'm detoxifying at a better rate. I am increasing and optimizing the way that my body is naturally detoxing. So when we're talking about detoxification organs, our primary one, our central one is our liver. This is what most people know. And then things get processed, things are happening, and then our kidneys are going to excrete out anything from make it water soluble and excrete it out through our urine. So in terms of detoxification, there's our liver, our kidneys, our lungs. Our lungs are processing things, and then out of our breath, we are detoxing our GI tract. So of course, our entire gut health is so key to our detoxification. And then I never thought of this, but what a beautiful connection they made for me is, you may have heard our skin is the largest organ in our body. We don't often think that. It is also the largest detoxification organ in our body. So yeah, not just the liver and kidneys, lungs, GI tract, and our skin. So whether you're fasting or not, and I think that this is helpful information just to hear and integrate into our psyche as we refeed. Like, just know that because so many people feel guilty over little slip-ups, or I made a mistake, or whatever. I had 3 drinks one night instead of the 2 that I promised myself I would do. Just know that your body is constantly working. It is so strong. And what you do when you fast is you're optimizing on all of those natural processes. So your design is amazing. Okay. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy that miracle soup, Monique. And I will see you soon.